Okay.
if you actually put Atom, open curly brace in front of charge, and then a closed curly brace after Z, you can actually unpack the tuple and unpack the struct all at the same time.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Ugh.
Yeah, so that should quiet down the compiler. That should be good.
Okay.
Now, are we necessarily going to want to do that in the long term? Probably
Probably
not,
not. Yeah.
because the handy thing about a struct is that you can pass it around as a whole thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to pass around the individual fields.
Right.
But that was just a minimal change that would silence
That's
the
cool.
compiler
That's
error.
cool that I
Yeah,
can I can unpack it like that. That's neat. So if I
yeah,
wanted to compile this, it would compile. Look at that.
still compiles. So that's actually another
Beautiful.
refactor. So we've now refactored to use a struct.
That's awesome. Nice. Okay. Um. So, what more do you what more, oh wise sage of the struct would you like to pass
Okay,
on?
so now, well, first of all, you should format the file.
And then okay, F6. Okay, perfect.
um, but now this next thing is actually a little bit computer sciencey. So in computer science, they talk about this thing called a struct of arrays. So a struct containing several arrays, like you have here,
Yeah.
or you can have an array of structs.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason people sometimes for efficiency, you may want to switch between one or the other.
Okay.
That's probably all I need to say. But the point here is that probably the simpler point here is that you've actually defined something that I might call a molecule.
Oh, right. Instead of an atom. Yeah. That may. Yeah.
But if you wanted to, you could define an actual atom struct that
Mm,
instead of containing vectors contains a single charge x, y, and z.
right.
And then you could also define a molecule struct which just contains a vector of atoms.
Yeah.
So that would change you from having a struct of arrays containing all the fields to you would then have an array of atom structs.
I see.
And if we go back to your equation, the indices we're going to be using are actually atom indices. So it might be convenient to be able to access individual atoms rather than access individual X, Y, and Z values from the whole molecule.
Say that one more time.
So yeah, if you go back to your equation or the Crawford project,
Oh yeah, I see.
you need atomic indices.
Yeah.
So we've done a struct refactor. So I think it looks a little nicer. Hopefully you agree already.
Yeah.
But for usability, we might want to break up your arrays into individual atoms.
Yeah. That would make sense to me.
Because then if we have a vector of atoms, we can say, if we index the vector with I, then we know we're getting
Yeah.
xi, yi,
Yeah.
zi,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
what we need for the equation.
Okay. Okay. So that all right. That does make sense. So if I wanted to, so okay. So this is struct atom, but really this is actually struct molecule.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you wanted to rename it everywhere, we really need to make a binding for this actually, for eglot.
Yeah.
Do you mind taking a slight detour into Emacs config, or do you want to stay here?
No, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Okay.
Dot Emacs
Let me look this up on my other monitor because I know there's some way.
in it.
Eglot. There should be a way to trigger like the eglot key map. Eglot. Quick start. Turn on eglot. Use eglot.
Oh, I probably.
I know there's some way to like bind the eglot prefix. Or maybe there's not. Eglot commands. Come on.
Show me the noise. Give it to me.
By default, it is empty with a single exception. Wait, yeah, how do I bind?
I don't know how you bind.
I should have looked this up earlier. All right. Well, I guess we won't do it the good way for now. Just go back to your init file.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess go to. Yeah, I guess Rust TS mode bind is fine. So we added one for eglot. Oh, we have one for code actions. Okay, but there should be. Let's add one more.
Okay.
I guess maybe Control C R, because this will be for rename.
Okay. Is it just eglot rename?
I don't know. Could
Okay.
be. Check. The way I would usually check this is with meta x, and then I would just start typing eglot dash.
Yeah, eglot rename.
Okay, perfect. Nice.
Cool.
It was a good guess, but you know, it's always worth checking.
I agree.
Yeah, sorry, everyone on YouTube. I think Jitsy's kind of slow today. We're not seeing you type sometimes, but that's
No,
okay.
no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Eglot rename has been rebound to CCR. Okay.
Oh.
What's the matter here?
Wait, you need to I think you messed up your parens. If the video is up to date. Wait, where did you eval?
Outside of this line right here? Oh, I see. I need to be out down here.
You need to take off the paren after eglot code actions, and then eval outside of the whole use package. Outside of the whole use package. Yep. Okay, good. It acted like it worked anyway, but
Yeah.
it shouldn't have. Okay, good.
So now I want to do Control C R to rename atom to molecule. Yeah. Look at that, baby. Man, that was cool.
Beauty.
Okay, so now I want to make a different struct, but for atoms.
Yeah.
Or for atom.
Yeah.
Okay, struct atom. Yeah, I hear you.
Does what I said make sense? Like, do you see why you're doing this? I don't want you to do it just because this is how I would structure it.
No, I mean, that makes sense to me. I mean, I think that if I had kept going the way that I was going, it would have gotten overly complicated, and there wouldn't have been a need to do it that way.
That's what I thought, which is why I stopped you. Because I don't want to. I think the ideal scenario is you hit a pain point, and then we fix it. But I think it was going to take a while to hit the pain point, and I think it was going to be pretty painful.
All right, so I think for me, it's like figuring out what a pain point is, and then at what point I really just don't know. I can't tell what's a pain point and I just don't know how to program.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what it is. Like because I don't know how to program, I don't know it's all a pain point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So like, I don't know. It's the you tell or saying, hey, why don't we consider using a struct is kind of like if I was in class learning a new concept, the teacher was like, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So it's like learning about structs is an example of how to make this problem easier rather than.
Yeah, but I guess what I mean, maybe rather than pain point, is like I wanted you to get to the point where you're like, wait, I have all of my x's together. I have all my y's together. But that's not how I would want to actually view this data. Is there some other way I could structure the data? But I don't know. But yeah, and then you say, how can I structure the data? And I'm like, oh, do I have the thing for you?
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I think maybe you wouldn't even ask that question if you didn't know about struct.
That's what I'm saying, is like I don't know Rust and because I don't know how like other programming languages, it's just like I don't know at what point to start asking those kinds of questions.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, I'm always like indignant. I'm like, this is awful. There's got to be a better way. Brent, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. So yeah, I thought it was we need to learn about structs anyway. That's a really good excuse.
Okay.
So,
all right.
because now you're able to talk about, like, structs are a tool of abstraction. So instead of talking about, I have a bunch of X's, a bunch of Y's, a bunch of Z's, and they're just floats. Like, now you can talk about molecules, you can talk about atoms,
Yeah.
and you can do things with atoms and molecules.
Right. Okay. So this is a charge, right? But instead of a vec of U size, it's just a U size.
Perfect. It's just an Uzi.
Hey, you can't say that.
What?
This is cool. Oh, okay. All right. So now I have it both. I have an atom, which is just the piece of the puzzle, and then I have the molecule, which is the whole pie.
Yep.
So now down here, I would actually want to do what? Would I want to keep it this way? String and then molecule, and then how would I want to construct that?
Well, you might want to change your definition of molecule. Because remember, this is actually what I was getting at with the
right. Okay. Right. So hold on. I'd want to have, would it just be one line of atom? Like, I don't, oh, it is? Oh, nice. Yeah. Hey, yo, look at that.
I'm going to call it atoms, since it's going to be a well, I shouldn't spoil it, but it's going to be a vector of atoms.
Dude, I cannot believe you just did that to me. So it's a vec of what? Strux?
No, it's just vec atom.
Okay.
Well, but it's capital A atom. Because it's a vec, like when you define a struct, you're defining your own type.
Oh, okay, I guess I didn't get that.
So just like when you do vec U size, vec F64, you say vec, your type, your struct, atom.
Okay, cool. Man, that's sick. That's dope. Okay. Okay. Wait, hold on. Pieces of structs are different types. I was wondering if I read that structs were also types, or you're defining your own type here. Because you said that. Yeah. Because you said that, and that made sense to me. It was like when I define a struct, I'm essentially defining my own type of something.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if I read that here and I just didn't understand, or if
that might be on the actual number 5 page. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, custom data type, yes.
Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so now that I've done that,
now you just follow the compiler errors. This is why I like compilers.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody you guys should look out. I'm gonna have a video you should have seen already about why I hate Python.
Python.
You make a change like that in Python and it doesn't say anything. It's just like it'll just try to run it and then eventually it'll crash.
Okay.
But Rust will tell you, hey, you changed what's inside of a molecule.
Yeah. Yeah, molecule does not even have this field. But molecule does have the field of atoms. Atoms.
Yep.
But
now you're thinking with portals.
Yeah,
this is what I know. I talked about this before when we did these projects, but sometimes you can write things in code that don't exist yet. So yeah, it totally makes sense to go ahead and just write atoms inside of those curly braces, and then the compiler will be like, "Hey, I don't know what atoms is."
yeah, because I've not made atoms yet.
Yeah, but then you can just go back and fill that in later.
I guess so. Okay. Well, wait.
So yeah, on Jitsi it says atoms charge, and then it says X, Y, and Z still. So
that's because I've not deleted it yet.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and feel free to delete that.
I didn't know if I needed to.
Yeah, you definitely need to delete that.
Okay. All right. So then, atom not found in this scope.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, but I think... Oh, I see down here. Okay, so atoms is not found in this scope.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that means.
So we talked a little bit about scopes, right? That's where variables, a scope is the region of the program where a variable is valid.
Right.
So maybe a simpler description of this error is you didn't define a variable called atoms.
But I thought atoms was the thing inside of my molecule struct.
Atoms, yeah, atoms is a field. Okay, yeah, this is where this is where the shorthand I think gets you in trouble. Is that the full definition of for constructing a struct is field name colon variable
Okay.
with the right type. So one thing you could do here is you can say colon and then vec colon colon new. So that will basically construct you an empty molecule.
Vec colon colon new.
Yeah, just like you were using up above, right?
I see.
So this will satisfy the compiler, but it's not going to give you the right answer. So this is, yeah. So, yep, call the function, just like you did up above.
Yeah.
So again, this is just to emphasize the full form of a struct construction.
I see.
I guess you're supposed to say initialization? I don't know. Making a struct. It's molecule, it's the name of the struct, curly braces, then you have all the field names, followed by colons, and variables or values or whatever.
Okay.
So this will be, the compiler will be okay with this if you save it.
The compiler will be okay with it, but there's nothing in it, right?
Right, there's nothing in it. So this is actually,
Yeah.
again, I don't want to derail us too far, but if you ever hear anything about test-driven development, where you like write a test and then you check if you get the, then you write the code
Yeah.
to pass the test. They have this expression called red-green refactor. So first you write the test and it's completely red.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even compile because the function that you're trying to test doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So then you write a minimal version of the function
Yeah.
that passes that at least like compiles.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes you'll be returning something empty, but it will fail the test because you're still not actually returning what you're supposed to.
I see. Okay. All right, so I guess I need to put something in atoms, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what it's asking for.
Yes.
And the thing that I want to give it is it's a vector of these variables, right? Because these variables are what make up an atom.
Yeah.
Okay. But these are already. Oh, but we don't want the vectors. We just want the one. Okay.
Right. So why don't you? Okay, just say in words before we've gotten away from this a little bit. I think saying stuff in words.
Yeah.
We've just been looking at code.
Yeah.
So say in words what you're doing right now.
Well,
Currently.
I'm currently thinking about what I need to be doing.
Oh no, sorry. I meant the code. Say what the code is doing right now.
Well, right now the code is okay, so I'm saving this new vector to atoms because that's what
Right.
add.
Sorry, I mean the looping part. Not the new code we've written. For every line in contents.lines, what are you doing right now? Up a couple stuff. Everything we did, I guess we did this actually like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm saving all of these things to a new vector.
Okay, and you've got separate vectors for each thing, charge, X, Y, and Z, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you want to do now?
Well, I don't want to save them as vectors anymore, right? I want to save them as just it's one value.
Called what?
Called atom? Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay, so why don't you try to construct an atom struct in that same region?
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So all right, I need to create an atom struct in this region.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and something handy when you're refactoring is sometimes you can do it incrementally. So right now, I'm looking at the charge line.
Yes.
So right now, it's all on one line. You're indexing into line, you're parsing it, you're unwrapping it, and then you're taking all of that and you're pushing it into a list or a vector called charge.
Right.
So something that might be handy for you here is to separate out the parsing and the pushing.
Okay.
So you might want to delete and make a new variable for the stuff inside of the push.
Inside
Does
of
that make sense?
delete and make a new variable.